Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. There isn't anything too immoral, too despicable, too disgusting that the IDF isn't willing to do. The IDF shot a Palestinian boy dead. When he fell to the ground, he bled out, and the IDF surrounded him. 14 IDF soldiers surrounded him as he bled out. And while he was bleeding out, they then took a stone and put it next to him and took a photo of him with the stone next to him to accuse him of assaulting the IDF soldiers. Two Palestinian ambulances arrived at the scene, and the IDF surrounding him wouldn't let them aid him. This was all recorded on video. All of it was recorded on video for obvious reasons. I don't want to get this video taken down or demonetized. I can't show it all. The whole thing was recorded on video from two different angles. One, a security camera angle, and one much closer angle when you can see it all. You can see them grabbing the stone, tossing it next to him, and then going right over his body and taking a photo while he's putting his hand up for help. And then once he's dead, they toss him in an IDF truck, and they zoom off with him. And he's a 14-year-old Palestinian boy accused of planting a rock. The IDF has said that Jad threw a rock and was a, quote, terrorist who attempted to attack the force. But Jad's family has accused the soldiers of trying to frame her son after footage emerged showing one of the soldiers entering the scene from out of shot, dropping a heavy object next to Jad, and then taking a picture of the object next to him. Let me actually see if I can, I might play an advertisement. I'm not going to wait for that right now. They dropped the stone next to him so they could frame him and make it look like he threw stones at them. You can see it in the video. Anyone who watches the video will see it. And the whole thing is clearly, like super clearly displayed. And, you know, I wish I could say this is a surprise, but it's not a surprise. This is kind of the IDF way. Actually, I forgot. I did end up posting it on my X account, just showing you guys it. And I just want to go here to see. So you can see here, that's actually when he takes the photo. So let me go here. And you're about to see him toss a stone. And so there you go. And you see, oh wait, that's when he took the photo. So there we go. So you see him right there, and he just tosses a stone right next to the boy. Right next to the boy, soldier drops object. And then he goes up the next one, and they take a photo. And look, you could still see him raising his hand, help me. He had two gunshot wounds. And then they take a photo of the boy. And then they just wait for him to die. And after he dies, they just toss him in the back of an IDF armed truck, and they go off with him. And that's the Israeli way. That's kind of what they do to Palestinians. They really, truly don't care. They think they're cockroaches. They think they're beneath them. They think they're superior. And this is kind of what the IDF does. And they get away with it. They get away with it because nobody holds them accountable. They get away with it because the United States doesn't care. They get away with it because ultimately our media is totally bastardized by Israeli interests. And the majority of the public doesn't even see it. And when the majority of the public does see it, and it truly becomes something so despicable, what ends up happening? Well, the Zionists end up going on a psycho campaign, basically discrediting the video, doing everything they can to state that it was justified, to state that it was the wrong angle, to say we're not getting enough context. This is what happens. I told you guys previously, I mean, since October 7th, and this has been going on forever, but since October 7th, next to my family's village, Yitzhar, the extremist settlement of Yitzhar, I talk about them a lot. The Kahan Chai is a U.S.-designated Jewish terrorist group, the only one, and that ideology originated from the settlement next to my family. Immediately after October 7th, I think in November, they came down from the mountaintops, or the hilltops, sorry, and they ended up shooting a Palestinian boy, a 13-year-old Palestinian boy from my family's village, who was outside. The IDF then came, and the IDF stopped Palestinians from protesting the death of the boy that the settlers shot. And the IDF, of course, protected the settlers. I previously talked about this, and the video is still up on my profile on my Instagram. If you scroll down a lot back to 2023, and you'll see it all happen. You'll see it. You'll see him on the floor. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. None of this stuff, they just continue to get away with it. They just continue to get away with it. Maybe until now, people are really starting to begin to recognize it, and the sentiment has shifted, but the policy hasn't at all. If anything, the policy has actually gotten worse, and not just in the United States, but truly all over the West. What we're seeing now is because so much content has came out and so many people are recognizing how evil Israel is, what's happening instead now is that the pro-Israel mob, the gang, the mafia, they're freaking out. And in every single country, what they're trying to do is to suppress that information and change the laws to make it illegal to criticize Israel. Look what they just recently did in Australia. There's a video that was circulating yesterday in Australia of a lady, and she has a sign that says Netanyahu is a war criminal. And the Australian police stopped her, and they ended up taking away her sign, confiscating it, because they think that it could really, aggravate the public, and it might violate the hate speech laws. Because they basically put forward, and they legalize these new hate speech laws where you ultimately basically can't even criticize Zionism. This is what they want to do in every single country. Look what they're doing in Argentina. I also did an entire report, and I interviewed an Argentine journalist, and she was talking about how in Argentina you will actually be criminalized if you're accused of anti-Semitism. Criminalized. An Australian politician, a left-wing Australian politician who simply went on X and stated what's happening is a genocide, was charged for 6 months in federal prison in Argentina. Ultimately, the charges ended up getting dropped after going back and forth in a legal battle, but he was charged on charges of hate speech and anti-Semitism. This is what they want to push in every single country in the West, because the moment they don't know what to do when too many people know, well, the solution there is not to stop Israel's evil actions, not to stop their immoral behavior, but instead it's actually just to suppress people from speaking up about it. And they think that's going to end up working out for them long term. They think that people are going to like them long term when they do that. Ultimately, Israel's former prime minister, Naftali Bennett, he actually ended up making a statement saying, we know people aren't going to like us. We know people aren't going to like Israelis, and that's okay. We don't have to get them to like us. We have to get them to fear and respect us. And that's all that matters. So we can keep going around killing Palestinians, doing whatever we have to do. We just need to make sure we control their laws and influence their countries and make sure that they fear us. And then it's fine if we go around baby killing. It's okay. So that's the Israeli way. But also, what I wanted to say regarding this specific incident is, again, he was bleeding out for. Sorry, it's a criminal act in the occupied West Bank to post photos of what's going on. So if you share content like this, they'll say that you sharing the content is supporting terrorism. If you share content of what's happening and what the IDF is doing in the occupied West Bank, you can also get charged for that, for simply sharing that content, because they don't want people to know what's happening. So they'll attack Palestinians. Palestinians are threatened that speak up about it, because again, Israel doesn't want the world to know what's happening. So it's truly just disgusting stuff. I hope you guys found this video interesting. If you did, I'd appreciate it. Helps share it with more people. If you just click the like button, give it a comment, and subscribe as well, helps me reach more people on the algorithm. Otherwise, also, guys, I recently started my membership. If you click the join button below, you might see a join button with a star icon. If you click that and you join as a member, you'll get to see member-only videos I do every night. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye.